hear the Group C section of this presentation. My name is Oleg.
My name is Falcon.
I'm Kaushik.
I'm Asma.
It's easy to spell. A-G-H-A-B.
Okay.
I'm Kaushik. K-A-U-S-H-I-K.
I'm Asma.
I'm Anusha.
Thank you very much. Go ahead. As said before, we have identified the consistency and importance of affordable housing in our target community, Redmond. We've devised that the most effective solution to this problem would be to incentivize housing developers to create affordable housing units. This means that if developers build a certain percentage of houses at an affordable rate, which would be 80% or less of the average median income, they would receive an incentive or reward. This type of policies were developed in the city of Edina, Minnesota, and continues to produce affordable housing units in that city every day.
There are many advantages associated with our class policy. Firstly, there are multiple ways to pay back developers who build affordable housing. As listed on our class board, there's a wide selection of incentives to choose from, including density bonuses, lower parking costs, tax increment financing, and low interest loans. Incentives like lower parking costs benefit the developer's business, and at the same time, the government isn't directly allocating money for the house developers, so the policy isn't too expensive. Additionally, the developers will benefit from any incentives they obtain, so more developer businesses will be encouraged to abide by our policy. Lastly, as more people settle here in affordable houses, they can get employment, advancing the local economy.
However, this solution does have some disadvantages. It might be a problem to get the housing developers to sign a contract, as they might predict that their profit when they use expensive housing will be greater than the incentives. Also, we have competition. If you lower the cost of your houses, you also are lowering the quality of your houses, which will affect your reputation negatively, and prospective buyers might buy elsewhere. Finally, this policy still costs the government money in the form of reduced tax revenue.
During the execution of our policy, the level of government in Redmond, Washington responsible for carrying out our proposed policy would be the Housing Affordability Branch, as well as the Finances and Budgets Branch, and more specifically, the Finances, Administration, and Communications Committee. To put this policy into action, we require some funds for the incentives to the developers. This means the government funds will be moved around and controlled by the Finances and Budgets Branch. Our policy must also be approved by the Finances, Administration, and Communications Committee because they control all the finances in the city. We also require our policy to be approved by the Housing Affordability Branch because this policy deals with housing affordability. These two branches in one committee are the ones that must review the plan, agree with it, and make it happen. They are the ones that we must deal with to make this plan happen.
Last year proposed policy our proposed policy is constitutional because no law or act is passed stating that all house developers must follow our policy. Rather, the people running the developer businesses decide whether or not to sign the contract and comply with their policy. The U.S. Constitution states nothing about affordable housing incentive programs, but the 9th and 10th Amendments state that the citizens in the states have more rights than stated in the Constitution. The Washington State Legislature states that any city or county planning under RCW 36-70A-040 may enact or expand affordable housing incentive programs, developing low-income housing units through development regulations or conditions on rezoning or permit decisions, or both on one or more of the following types of development: residential, industrial, commercial, or mixed use. The proposed policy abides by the
Go ahead, finish your thought.
The proposed policy abides by the legislature as we provide affordable housing-based incentive programs involving fee waivers, parking reductions, water and sewage system fee, reduction fees, and similar bonuses.
Thank you. I have a couple questions. One of you said, well, first of all, I want to know, how did you find Medina, Minnesota? Of all the cities you could have compared Redmond to, how did you find this one?
We were looking through different cities and different policies in general, because we wanted to see what other cities were using, what examples they had. And one of the cities we found was Edina, Minnesota, and they had a policy that was written out, there was a PowerPoint document, and we just looked through it, and it was this type of policy. And apparently it worked really well for the city itself, and it was similar in tastes to Redmond. It had the same amount of like housing need as Redmond does today, so we chose to here.
Also, when we were looking for different policies, we found, many of us found this in Edina, Minnesota, and it's really similar, like Oleg said, because Edina, Minnesota is really close to Minneapolis, like Redmond is really close to Seattle.
That helps. Thank you. Why do you need a comment about what the developers about paying back? Remember that?
What do you mean?
You were talking about the incentives with the developers. One of you made a comment about, people could pay back. Who would they pay back to? The city? The developers?
Oh. So if I understand what you're saying, so what I meant was, since the developers, they are building affordable housing and like helping solve this issue, so in turn, as an incentive, we're paying back through incentives as like benefits for the work they're doing. Like benefits can include less taxes or fees for certain buildings and constructions. So we're paying back the developers for the work they do.
They're paying back to the developers.
Yes.
You don't pay actual like money, you pay with like incentives. So like what Rocco said, you use different like bonuses, like you get reduction on your water and sewage system. So
I'm glad you addressed the constitutional issues. I got one question on that one. What do you think is the right level of government to deal with this? Is it the very local government? Is it the national government? And that's a broad question, so you can answer it not just in your particular Redmond, but in general. What do you think?
I believe that it should be a more statewide government because every state has different housing issues. So I believe that like first the local government can work on it and go to the state because every single city has different issues and they may have different needs and different incomes.
Currently, it would be under the city government, mostly because the U.S. Constitution, the 9th and 10th Amendment, they do say that people and the state, they have rights that are not listed in the Constitution. One of these rights would be the state making a law and giving the right to make, well, like the RCW, whatever number it is. Yeah, like that one, it makes a law and then gives it to the state government. So currently, it's in the local government of the city, like Redmond, which is why we can act on it.
No, I'm fine. Okay, I have one more question. I think it's Anisha. You were talking about housing units. Could you define a housing unit for me?
Mostly like a house or apartments, condos, any types of shelters.
And yet your policy doesn't mention, if I read through here, I kept seeing the word house as opposed to a condo or an
We're
apartment or.
focusing mostly on housing because usually apartments people rent, and we are looking for a more affordable way to buy houses. So, when I said housing units, it was under the policy which I read out. And so that policy, it states housing units, which are condos and apartments, but we are planning under that, so we're not talking about all the different housing units.
Each of you very briefly, tell us, what was the most interesting part of this project to you? What was the most interesting aspect
The whole thing, or just parts?
for your part? What was the most interesting?
It's likely just researching the different cities, because you can see the difference in between one city and, let's say, like New York region, or one city in California. And there's a huge difference in the amount of like need for housing, and there's a difference in how much a house costs. You really get to know the like location, land, and see where you wanna live, really. Exploring the nation.
It was more like, for me, understanding what the problem was all about and like how to approach it, because, well, first of all, you need money, and then we like for a part of ours, which Penalty will explain more on, we just wanted to know like the main, as we talked about earlier, what government would like at least help to start doing it. Which was the city council, and then we wanted like to expand, just like to know like how would they do it, not necessarily like research a lot, but just to know like what methods and stuff they would use that could be applied to other problems.
And my most interesting part was finding more about the Constitution, because I could more clearly understand like what our rights are, and what policies can be made, and how we can help our city and what we do as citizens.
I think it was interesting when we were looking for different policies we could use, that we found that how widespread the housing problem is affected the policies we chose, like in different cities. Depending on how widespread the problem was, they use different policies to deal with it.
I think the most interesting part was when we were trying to find how the constitutionality deal with their policy, and we got to learn more about how that worked. And like, you don't really understand that every single thing that you do has to do with the Constitution, but it's really interesting to find out.
Thanks.